Alrighty, so it has been quite a while since we've actually gotten this event, so we're going to go over it just in case, because there's a lot of new characters and stuff like that in the game. I don't even know if we had Derriere yet whenever this initially came out. I want to say we did, but I can't remember specifically. But we're going to be going on Hell difficulty, and it's mainly just because he's at 150k CC on Hell, which is pretty low. So a lot of newer players should be able to do this on a pretty decent difficulty and get pretty good rewards out of it. This is the team that I'm using. Obviously, you don't have to have Gother. He's not really all that helpful. I mean, you can rank up cards, but honestly, you don't really need to. You want to focus survivability, if anything, because basically what you want to do in this fight is you want to stall for 2 turns, and you want to not attack, so that way you gain these attack buffs, because you get an attack buff if you do not attack the enemy during the turn. And you can have a maximum of 2, and they increase your attack stats by 150% per buff. So they're really good. And you basically just want to stall for 2 turns, and then hit him with an ultimate pretty much, and it should kill him. And then you go into the second phase, and you basically do the same thing, except he's going to assume a stance at the end of every turn, I think it is. And the stance basically makes it to where he has a lot more HP in the second phase in general, but the stance will make it to where if you do not kill him, he gains 15% of the HP that he lost during that turn at the beginning of his next turn. So he has a lot of recoverability, I guess. So you want to make sure that if you're using Derriere, he will actually purge buffs at the beginning of his turn, I think it is. I'm not exactly sure. Removes all buffs and debuffs from the battlefield at the start of the turn, and recovers hero's HP by 5% of max HP per debuff and buff removed. So you cannot hold on to buffs. Do not worry about bringing like Merlin or anything like that just for like her perfect cube. Like you can see, I'll go ahead and use perfect cube just to go ahead and get rid of it. And we'll use that because it's not going to do anything. But yeah, so we'll throw that on, rank up some cards. Make sure that if you have Derriere on the team, you can see it purged off the perfect cube right there. If you bring Derriere, make sure you save her injection, her blue card, so that way you can get your buffs in the same turn that you're going to ulti, or else you're not going to get the the full benefits from the amplify. So pretty much for the rest of this, like we've got one more turn. You want to try to make sure that you have an ulti ready for the next phase, or for the next turn, so that way you can actually ultimate while you have both buffs, because obviously that's just going to be the quickest way to get rid of it. You want to do 2 turns. That's the max stack you can get. You cannot get more than that. I thought originally that it was 5, but I could have just been remembering that wrong, or maybe they've changed it. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember exactly how this played back when it first came out. So we're going to throw Escanor's buff. We're just going to throw away some of these attack cards, and that should set us up pretty good to move into the second phase. So you can see, boom, he does 5.2 million damage, and it's just because of that sort of like insane attack buff that he has. But you can see once we go into the second phase, I'll look at his HP right here. He has 6.3 million HP. So you have to hit him pretty hard. So obviously it gets rid of our attack buffs. So basically we're just going to stall again for 2 more turns, and then we are just going to ultimate. It's not really super insane, not a very hard concept. I guess if I really wanted to, I could try to get Escanor's ultimate again, but it's a little late for that now. But with the ultimates that I have, we should be fine. So you can see here we have both attack buffs. He does do a little bit more damage in the second phase, but it's nothing like super crazy. That move is the worst of all of them by far. But yeah, you basically just want to be able to survive the turns that you're not attacking. So now that he's in his, we've got both buffs. He's in his stance, but I mean, he's going to pretty much do that stance every turn anyway. So we're going to throw on, I think we'll throw on injection, and then we will throw on probably the Cruel Sun, just because it'll deal a little bit more damage. And then we'll use Thery's ult and then Merlin's ult, because both of them are 6/6. And this should kill. I'm assuming Derry will probably kill by herself, but we shall see. Boom. Okay, actually she only did 5 million. and then boom, she does 3 million. So you basically want to have multiple ults for the second phase. It doesn't matter because obviously you're not going to be able to stack up enough dairy buffs to really get her ult to do like insane damage, but altogether not a very hard fight. It's just a little bit tedious and time consuming just because you have to stall and everything like that, but it's definitely worth doing. The exchange shop is pretty good. There's Shin and Roxy cosmetics because of the new banner that's out. A lot of free materials and stuff like that to be gained, especially these like weapon cosmetics or the costume cosmetics. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. And then there's obviously anvils and stuff like that that you can get, which is obviously very good. So other than that, you can do stage clears. So every time you do a certain amount of stage clears at 2, 5, 8, and 11, you're going to get a reward. You can do 3 of these matches a day. So you want to make sure that, you know, over the next couple of days, you try to do as many as you can. So that way you can get as many of these rewards as possible, as quickly as possible, because obviously you get a free character at the end. So that's really nice. Other than that, the regular rewards are kind of, you know, standard stuff. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you then.